Hey, welcome, welcome. This is our Now or Never series. A few of us presidentials have put this together, spotlighting a few amazing ambassadors with our team with It Works so that we can help inspire you, give you some good tidbits on how to grow your business, how to go diamond and above, and especially right before conference. So I am Colette Bowden, Presidential Diamond Leader. I'm living in Southern California. I'm a mom of 5. My oldest is 24. I have 2 grandbabies. My youngest is 6. So, guys, there you have it. But we have Ashley Sinclair, millionaire mama with It Works. She's one of my favorites, mom of 2 from Texas. Said it before, I'm going to say it again. She loves tacos, so she's my favorite because I love tacos. Been with It Works for almost 7 years this summer, I believe.
Yes.
I just love your story. I love that you can just tell us straight how it is. Thank you for your service, your kindness. So thank you for your time. So I have some questions for you. I want to know, first of all, how did you hear about It Works? Like, what was that little story? How did you hear about it? And then what did you do from there in the next little time frame? Give us that.
Sure. So, hey everyone, I'm excited to be on the Zoom tonight and just share with you guys as much as I possibly can. But I started in 2011. I had a friend from junior high that sent me a message about the product and letting me know that there were, all these ladies up north that were making 10 grand a month and that she had tried this fat patch at a hair show and that I should try it too. It was amazing. And I just thought, there's no way that a product like that actually works. And I feel really bad for my friend that got into a pyramid scheme. And so that was my initial thoughts about It Works. But fast forward 2 weeks, decided I was going to go for it. I gave Tiffany a call and I said, let's see what this is about. And so really, my story began 9 days after that. I jumped in full force, started doing my training, and realized very, very quickly what I had my hands on and that I did not want to let this go. That, I had seen other people do well in other, network marketing or direct sales companies, but I always thought, it was just timing or luck, or I don't know what I thought it was. But I remember looking at my husband and saying, I'm going to make us $1 million. I just knew that there was something to this. And so I just started texting everybody I knew that I wanted to work with, that I thought was a go-getter and I thought was driven and that I thought would say yes. I texted them and I said, I'm about to go make $1 million. Are you coming with me or not? I mean, it was they would say, well, what is it? I'm really not sure. Well, have you tried it? Nope, not yet. Well, what does it do? Yeah, I really don't know. Well, do you have results? Yeah, no, I have no clue what they do. Well, what about this? I'm still learning. I mean, I didn't care. It was very, we'll figure it out as we go. And if you have to know everything up front, you're not going to be a good teammate for me. We're going to figure this out. And if you wait too much longer, you're going to miss the boat. So let's go. That's kind of how I just got started and jumped in and started running as fast as I could.
And I love that you touched on that because many people will say, well, I need to try the products first. I also didn't, I tried it at a party, but then jumped on board before I had seen even results. I hadn't even been, 24 hours. So I love that you said that. So just tell us, how fast did you get to diamond?
I guess I started, all of September, and I went diamond on October 24th. So I was at about, almost 2 months. Took me about almost 2 months. And then about 2 months. And then I skipped double and the next month hit triple. So you can, that's what's awesome about it is I think I ended my very first month at Ruby and was like, Emerald, what's that? That doesn't look as cool as diamond. Let's go diamond. It's just very let's do this,
Well, and so regardless, people can say, well, I'm not going to be as fast as Ashley. No, you might not. But I've also learned along the way, it can be mindset too. You can if you want to.
Yeah. You can if you want to. And then I always make sure to tell people this because I feel like it's only fair. You hear these stories and then there's people that are that have gone diamond way faster than me. So but you hear these stories and you go, there's a girl in Canada, Barbara, that went in like 9 days or something. I mean, and my team will get discouraged hearing that. Here's the thing, that don't get discouraged. That's like hearing that somebody, runs a 4-minute mile or broke the 4-minute mile. Does that discourage other people from running miles and hitting their personal best? Absolutely not. Like, I think we need to be very careful about comparing our journey to others. And one thing I always make sure to tell people when I'm telling my story is, you guys, it's network marketing, and you're going to have to build a network. Some people come into this with an incredible network when they start. And that's what happened to me. While I'd never done direct sales or anything like that before, I owned a store for 8 years. I'd been a business owner, since I was 20 years old. And so this was not business wasn't new to me. And having a network, I owned a bridal show. I was in the Bridal Service Associates. I was a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Like, I'd knocked down so many doors to open my first business that then when this came along, there were a lot of people. It's not that I never heard no, but you guys, there were a lot of people when I said, I'm going and I'm doing this. Are you coming with me or not? They went, well, hell yeah, I don't want to miss that. Like, if you're doing it, I'm doing it. I don't want to miss it. And so know that part of my story, and hopefully let it encourage and inspire you, not in any way make you feel less than or whatever, because you are going to have to build a network. It's network marketing. There's no way around it. There's no shortcut. I built a network. I just came in with one that was great. And the other thing that happened, you guys, and this is what a lot of people won't say or talk about, is there is an element of luck when it comes to your chart. I went ambassador in 7 months, and you don't do that without the perfect placement. Had I moved this girl under this person, or, one girl that ended up going presidential and being one of my legs for ambassador, I accidentally left her on my top line. I was trying to build to presidential. I wasn't even thinking ambassador yet. And it was past the 24 hours. I left her on my top line, and I thought, well, crap, I don't need her on my top line. I already have I've got that leg built. And sure enough, then she was one of the ones that went double diamond in like a month and a half to help me go ambassador. So don't feel like when you're looking at everybody's journey, it's important to be inspired by it and not let it make you feel any less than. Like I said, somebody may run a 3-minute and 50-second mile, but that doesn't keep you from running your 12-minute. We all still ran a mile, right? So keep that in mind.
Well, mine's more like a 15-minute mile, but that's fine with me because I've come to terms with it. And that's the thing, is 2018 is my year. Yeah. But I've let the people, I have an ambassador underneath me. She inspires me because it's not about, oh, I'm going really slow, therefore my entire team's going to go slow. You can sign Ashley Sinclair's or Ashley Olive's or Christy Christensen's. Like, you can sign anyone underneath you, and that's going to be part of your team, part of your journey. And the comparison is what slows us down. It slowed me down for way too long because my blinders were off and I was focused more on, is someone better than me? What am I doing? And I let all that comparison get in and kind of slow me down and kind of mess with my mind a little bit. But now I'm like, I actually had to do some personal growth. Like, it's all meant to be the way it's supposed to be. And I'm really excited about it now. So can you tell us, regardless of how quickly you went to ambassador, do you still sign people? Do you sign people that are now like, oh, this is Ashley Sinclair, everyone's running to the top with you? Or people still kind of fizzle out and don't quite catch the vision? Maybe they don't hit Ruby. Like, do you still have that where just,
oh yeah. No, I mean, for Pete's sake, my 2.0 is the perfect example of that. The company gave us a new spot. They gave all ambassadors a new spot in 2015, and I opened it up and I was like, I'm going to be the first double ambassador. Just watch me. I mean, I went 7 months the first time. Now I've got, now I know what I'm doing. I'm going to do it in 6 months. I'm going to just kill this. And you guys, that spot went to double diamond and it ended at ruby last month for the first time. Like, I lost the diamond rank on that spot and it just broke my heart. It killed me. But here's the deal is I have signed so many people. 2015 was my highest year for enrollments, even bigger than the year I went ambassador. It's my highest year for enrollments. And I didn't have one person that went diamond on their own that year, not one. And, you know, it's just a matter of who you sign and when, and how long you're willing to wait. And I say wait, but I mean, how long you're willing to keep working until somebody enters your business that just completely changes it. And so, you know, sometimes I almost feel like, I don't want to say it hurts me, but sometimes I think it almost, hinders me what I know now. And what my team and I are constantly trying to do is go back to that just raw excitement and just, you know, this is the most insane thing that we have our hands on versus, okay, let me help you make $500 a month and let me be more professional and let me be, no, let's go balls out. Like, let's make $1 million. Like, let's do this, you know? And I feel like sometimes you know, I've let those years of people quitting and those years of people saying, I don't know, maybe this isn't for me, or those people giving up on themselves. And it jades you a little bit, you know, it makes you feel like, oh geez, maybe I don't have what it takes, or, oh, is there anybody left that's going to work? And that, you know, those are all just lies that you hear in your business. And so I would very much encourage anybody that's kind of in that same boat of feeling like, you know, am I ever going to sign that next rock star? Am I ever going to sign that next person? They're coming. It's not a matter of if. When you're putting in the work, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when. And so, yeah, I found some incredible rock stars really early on, and then have kind of hit a dry spell over the last, you know, 18 months to 2 years, as far as just finding those people that really want it and don't just want to make 200 or 300 a month. You know, they want to make 2,000 or 3,000 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50,000. So, but those people are coming. That's why I keep working.
Awesome. Okay. So that leads into then, what's your favorite personal development? And do you feel like that matters in the business?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I didn't think it mattered at the beginning. I remember when Mark and Cammie, and there were different people that would say, you know, a third. You need to spend a third of your time on recruiting new. You need to spend a third of your time with the team that you already have, you know, keeping those relationships. And then you need to spend a third of your time on personal development. It was like, who's got time to read crap? Like, I'm signing people up. Like, I don't have time for all of this, you know? And the truth is that I had to take a really big crash course in self-development, because there was so much that God wanted to teach me that I was just not really ready to listen to and learn. And, you know, he used Pam, he used Mark, he used so many different people and books to humble me, to show me that, hey, this isn't just about you and your paycheck and your family. This is about changing thousands of lives, and you have a huge responsibility. You know, that verse, it's one of my favorite verses, but it's one of the scariest verses in the Bible to me. And that is, to whom much is given, much is required, because I've been given so much. And so, I think recognizing that, and all of you on this Zoom, by the way, have been given so much. So I think recognizing that and then saying, hey, I don't want to do this alone. I can't do this alone. I have got to be able to pour into my team and give them 100% and give them my best. And I can't do that when I'm empty. And so, yeah, I mean, reading is huge for me. And then a lot of times, like, I'll put on Gary Vee, or I'll put on Tony Robbins in the background, or I'll put on, you know, a TED Talk or something like that. But I like to read books. I don't like to listen to them, but I'll listen to, you know, motivational speeches or whatever. So I'll listen to that while I'm working, but reading and honestly, just staying as plugged in as possible. I think it's so amazing. And I feel like people don't take advantage of the resources that It Works gives us, and the leadership that we do have a lot of times. And so staying really close to the fire and plugged in, knowing when to ask for help, which I didn't do when I started, all of those things, being able to say, I don't wait for people to reach out to me. I don't wait for Pam to call me and go, Ashley, having a good day? I've noticed your numbers are down. Like, I don't wait for her to do that. When I'm having a rough time, I'll message her. Hey, I need help. Let's talk, you know, and I usually need 10 minutes, then I'm reset. But I wish more people would do that. I wish more people would utilize their upline instead of just fading out, you know, and letting life happen and getting discouraged. It's like, gosh, there is so much fire in this business. And if you just get close to it, you can't help but get hot yourself, you know?
Totally. Yeah. So everyone on here, how many of you, I want you to comment on the side, how many of you are pushing for diamond? I want to see like a hands up, or me, comment something like that. Because I want, Ashley, if you can, for all of these people that are pushing for diamond, maybe they're going to conference, hopefully they're going to conference to be inspired and to have that magic happen in their lives. Oh my gosh. What advice, or like what should their day look like really to go diamond if they don't have a large network of people?
Okay. Yeah, no, that's a good one. So first of all, I think you've got to do a couple of different things. And I don't mind showing you guys, kind of what I do for organization. I will ask this. Please don't email me and ask me if I will email you. I'll very politely say, no, I won't. I don't spend my time doing that. I spend my time working. So, but I'm happy to show you this. And if you want to take any screenshots and make a version of it for yourself, you're more than welcome to, but I'll just show you what I do, that I think is important to stay on top of. So, I've got my monthly steps printed out. These are my goals, DTs and loyals, but I used to have just the steps to success printed out. And then I think you need a page for your hundreds list. This is just my, my distributor contacts. And then you can see I've got little dots right there for how many times I follow up. Colette, just as an FYI, I think you can do a spotlight video on me and it'll make my screen bigger. So for the recording, people will be able to see this better. If you click on the tab, that's okay. You click on the tab up at the top.
On my end, it is. Is it not on your end? Let me see.
It'll just be on my end. That's fine. That's fine. It's not a big deal. I just didn't know if that was done. So I do it for distributor contacts. I do it for customer contacts. These are my people that I'm talking to right now. And then here's Facebook, all the people that have friended me back on Facebook. I'm writing them down so I know who to interact and comment on. Same thing for Instagram. And then for me, it's about doing a couple of different things. It's about connecting, prospecting, and follow up. And those are the three things. I mean, really, that's your blitz, wrap, repeat. I just use a different word, but connecting, that is such a huge part of what we do. I am not someone that teaches just to message 5 million people a day and spam. I think it makes our company look bad. I think it makes our industry look bad. And so I'm very big on building relationships. So I spend a lot of time connecting. So I'll interact a lot. And this is why these are important to me, my Facebook and my Instagram list, because those are the people I know that have followed me back or friended me back. And now I want to go and be a friend to them. And so connecting with those people, connecting with my team, things like checking birthdays, doing encouragement, checking in with my loyal customers, getting as much volume as possible from them, staying in touch with them. But yeah, commenting and interacting and all of that. Then the main two things, this is what you really need to be focused on if you're going for diamond, and that's prospecting and follow-up. Basically asking and then following up, asking and following up, asking and following up. And so here's the deal. If you ask 50 people and 2 people say yes, and you need 24 people to be on your chart for diamond, then you may have to, I didn't do my math very well. If 50 gives you 2, then that would be, oh my gosh, I can't do that math in my head. That would be 500. And no, yes, that would be 500 would get you 20 people, right? 500 would get you 20 people.
Yes.
So 600, am I doing my math right? I'm like 600 would get you 24 people, I think, if I did my math right. Okay, so if that's the case, are you willing to message 600 people? That means you're gonna have to friend a lot of new people, follow a lot of new people, connect with a lot of new people, ask a lot of new people, right? To get those distributors on your team. Now, hopefully you're not signing up all 24, but here's the deal. Anybody that's going diamond, my biggest tip to them is you need 5 people minimum. 2 of them have got to take off. If they don't, be willing to do that work. And so for me, I looked at that chart like a puzzle piece, I looked at that chart like a big old puzzle and I said, okay, there's 24 people. I've got to just act like I've got to find all 24 of these. Now, luckily I didn't. I found some people that wanted to move with me and wanted to work with me and signed up some of their own, but I was willing to do that work. And so I think asking is such a big part of what we have to do, finding those people that we actually want to work with, that we think would be good. I can see over here, where do you find people to friend on Facebook? Groups are harder to add friends from. I disagree. I add a lot from groups. I think it depends on the group that you're in. I don't join groups that have 78,000 members in them. You're going to get lost in the shuffle. I'm in a lot of smaller groups. Maybe it's a boutique. Maybe it's I'm in a couple of RV groups because my husband and I RV. I'm actually in a Girls of Chipotle group. There's even a group like that. I mean, just we talk about guacamole, and I mean, I'm not even kidding. Like, you can find whatever you're looking for. And so even within those groups, I'll post a question. Don't get in those huge mom groups with nothing but drama with 120,000 members in them, and then somebody posts something about breastfeeding and there's 80,000 comments. Like, stay out of it, guys. That's not where you're going to build your business. So those smaller groups are really what's kind of worked for me. The other thing too is just going to your favorite authors, your favorite speakers, your favorite, go to Gary Vee's page if that's who you like to follow, or Tony Robbins. Look at the last thing he posted and then go through the comments. I look there all the time and see, okay, who do I have mutual friends with? Because you can kind of hover over somebody's name and see, oh, that person, I actually have a mutual friend with that person there. Go to your favorite comedian or author or speaker or whatever it might be. Follow that person. And then, because you're going to find like-minded people there with you, right? So that's how I friend people all the time. And then when they friend me back, when they accept that friend request, that's whenever I put them down on my page. And then you better believe I'm connecting with them. I put them as see first. I want to see everything they're posting. I want to be the first one to comment on it and really get to know them that way. And same thing with Instagram, whether it's searching hashtags, girl mom, whatever it might be. I mean, again, I don't really so much search hashtags as I do go to pages of people that I like, and then look at like their last videos and stuff. And I'll look at the comments and see, hey, is that someone that, especially if somebody's funny, like that's attractive to me. I want to work with people that I get along with and that have a sense of humor, and that are positive and upbeat. And so there's a couple of authors that I follow and speakers and things like that. And I'll go to their latest videos and go through and see who liked it or who posted a funny comment, and then friend that person. So hope that helps. So that's a little bit about prospecting, but then, you have got to be adding new, because right now Facebook and the algorithm, it stinks, you guys. I don't know if it's going to get better or worse. I don't want to say. I'm hoping it gets better. I don't know. But the algorithm stinks. And so if you're posting and then you're like, well, nobody's commenting or nobody's liking, and so I guess I'm not good at this business, that's not fair to it works. You've got to be the one that is messaging, that is out there asking, that is commenting on people's stuff. You've got to be a busy little bee all over social media if that's the way you're choosing to build. Either that, or you've got to get out there and blitz and wearing your gear and putting out referral boxes and going to your loyals and asking them to host parties. I mean, all of those things. But yeah, that's kind of the prospecting part of what I do. And then the other thing that most people will not do, I notice people either do too much or not enough of this, because you can do too much follow-up, right? So they either follow up too much because they're too afraid to leave that list behind and add new people to it. And so I followed up all day. Well, if somebody has gone cold on you for 3 months and hasn't responded, and you followed up with them 20 times, it's time to put them to the side, right? Like, I tell my team all the time, some of you need to break up with your prospect list. Like, you guys, this is just from the last couple of months, okay? All right? Like, this stat of follow-up, I mean, look at this. It's pages and pages and pages of people, right? And so here's the thing. If I open my notebook and that's what I'm looking at every day, guess what? I feel amazing. I've got all these people to follow up with. This is wonderful. But the truth is that I followed up with all of those people during $10. I followed up with if they didn't want a box of wraps for $10, are they really your true strong potential? So it was hard for me to throw away 25 pages of potential distributors. But guess what? It was time to put that to the side and make a fresh list, because at that point, I knew that if I wanted quality, good people to join my team, and they either weren't responding to that, or they told me they didn't have $10 and they weren't willing to find $10 to join, then I knew they weren't really my potential and it was time to move on. So some of y'all need to break up with your list a little bit, like set it to the side and create a whole new one. And that's what I've been working on, is a fresh new list. And so And then some of you don't follow up enough. You're not spending enough time following up. You send up one message to somebody, they don't respond. You guys, I mean, you've got to follow up and you've got to stay in contact with people. I did a training on Saturday and I used the example of this girl, April, that I've been following up with since last March, because she reached out to me during a live and said, I'm ready to do this. Send me a message, girl. So I sent her a message. I mean, and it's like all blue on my side, and she's read all of them and like, there's no response. And the deal is that I've had to take her off that weekly follow-up list. Like she's not doing it yet, and that's okay, but she's still on that like hopeful and long-term list. And so I think follow-up is one of the keys to most people's success that they're missing. And so follow-up is huge. Anybody that you have asked that has said yes, or you've given your website to, you've got to be messaging those people. A lot of people will say, what do you say? How many times do you follow up? You guys, I speak from the heart. I speak like as though somebody is sitting right across from me. Girl, you're driving me insane. I know you can see my messages. If you don't want to do this, I'm a big girl. You can tell me. If you do, let's go make $1 million. Like, I don't talk any different than I would if that person was sitting right across from me. By the way, I usually start out a little kinder than that, but I'm just saying, like, once you've messaged them 5-6 times. But I leave people, somebody asked how many times, like, I leave people on my list for a while, but I do at least 6 follow-ups with somebody. And if I've gotten 0 response from them, or of course a no, then I'll move them over. Okay. Like, okay, they're not a good potential for me anymore right now. That's a cold lead at this point. So, yeah. So as far as going diamond, I mean, I hope that answered a little bit, but every single day, your action steps have to be focused on connecting with new people, then asking those people, and then following up with those people. And I think on your way to diamond, if that's not what you're focused on and you're all over the place, like I know girls that are so organized and they have the most beautiful binders and they have 3 loyals, and like 1 DT that signed up during the $10 kits that hasn't done anything. But they have the most beautiful It Works folder ever. Like, guys, you have to be focused on IPAs, income producing activities. Whatever is making you money is what you need to be focused on right now. Absolutely. And connecting with people, asking people, messaging people. That's what's going to make you money. And I'm sorry, my husband bought me, I have back issues, and my husband bought me a ball, and I'm trying so hard not to. I feel like I've done pretty well, but it's killing me. Every time I move my leg, I like bounce a little bit. So sorry.
This was your preschool.
That's so funny. In fact, do I hear someone? Mute yourself if I can't tell who's talking in the background. I was gonna say, and my next question is, what color is your bouncy ball?
Very funny. It's a dark charcoal.
Oh, that's nice.
We don't have lime green. Sorry.
No.
This is your artwork and just different.
Hey, Kimberly Unsworth, can you please mute yourself?
Colette, just mute everybody. Mute all.
I am trying to find it. Okay. Now I lost my train of thought. Okay. Squirrel. Where is Kay? Now, Katie, mute yourself. Hang on, guys. Sorry. Okay, so what I was going to say is I love that you do not have a steps to success, that you have this larger chart this larger list of enrolling loyal customers, enrolling distributors, because I feel like when I started in the beginning, I was like, okay, they're only asking us to sign 4 people. They're only asking us to sign 4 customers and 3 distributors. I will try. But the fact is, we're limiting ourselves. If we say we're going to try to do that, we might fall short. But if we're trying for a lot more, we're going to be at least doing the steps of success, if not twice or
right.
more.
Right.
So I loved your list. I loved your follow-up. I loved, like, there's not going to be this magic number necessarily. You might find your own magic number.
Yeah.
Going through that.
Like, this is March. This is my old one. I mean, it like overflows off the page, 10 DTs and 34 loyal customers in a month. Like, why would I limit myself? Now, that doesn't mean that in December, I didn't sign 1 DT and 6 loyals. Like, that happened. But my point is, why would I not take what I know I can do and push myself to the limit? And so again, it's about knowing yourself. If you're somebody that's like, the steps to success overwhelm me, like at this point, Ashley, I would just die if I could get 2 DTs and 2 loyals a month. Then that needs to be for you. Don't let yourself get discouraged by the steps, or constantly try to let that be the thing that helps you reach higher. But if you're someone that easily does that, not easily, but if you're somebody that does the steps every single month and you're not pushing yourself, it's that whole, I'm sitting here looking at the book, that go for no principle, that, you got that guy that was looking for however many it was, 10 sales. And by Tuesday he had 9. And so he just stopped. Well, what would have happened if he would have kept on going at that same pace, trying to get all 10 sales every single day? And I think it's just about knowing yourself and then being moderately realistic with a hint of just crazy. And that's me. Realistic with just a scotch of crazy. And I think you've got to have that in this business to really push yourself,
Awesome. Yeah, absolutely. So let's end it with we're going into conference. I'm like 16 days away from flying out for conference. And what's your ridiculous tip for what do you do now and what do we do in the next few months or 2018? Like, what's your advice?
What's my advice for what?
Conference is coming. What do they need to do? Yeah. Like, is there, let's talk about what's their tips to take it to a whole nother level, to take advantage of this time, or are they going to just sit and watch?
Well, I think you've kind of got to get that urgency. I think a lot of us have gotten really complacent. I know that I did last year. I just got really content and happy, and I didn't realize I was doing it until I got to the end of the year, and I kind of just got in my little rhythm and everything was fine. And sometimes you just need something to disrupt that. And so I love that. I love that conference kind of naturally does that for us. I love that a new year naturally does that for us. But really past that, it's going to be up to you to create and develop that sense of urgency in your business every single day. And that's what I try to work with, is that feeling of, this company is incredible, and what they've given us and what they've put out there is so amazing. Who am I to waste it, and who am I to not share it? And so, we don't know when the window's going to close. You never know what is going to happen in life, right? I mean, my mom worked for American Airlines for 19 years, and right before she hit her 20th anniversary, got laid off. And her department was foolproof and nobody was ever going to get laid off in her department. Like, there is no guarantees in life. And so why would you not take advantage of every single opportunity that you've got every day to grow this business? Because you've watched it change not just my life, but hundreds of people's, lives in this business, and thousands of people's lives in this business for the better. So, and then, millions of people that are in this industry. So why would you not take advantage of it and work with that urgency? So I think that's the first tip that I would give anybody, is freaking work with urgency. The other thing is, don't be afraid of the work. So many people are afraid to put in the work. I am more afraid of what happens when I don't work. I am more afraid of the person I'm going to become when I'm not giving 150%. And so don't be afraid of doing the hard work. Don't be afraid of a late night. Don't be afraid of skipping a Saturday something or other that sounded fun. Don't be afraid to freaking put off Netflix. So many people are like just so into their shows and and it blows my mind. I'm like, the Scandal is not going to make you $1 million. Like, sure, it's a great show. Like Game of Thrones I'm sure it's fabulous. It's not going to make you $1 million. Like, why are we investing in things that will not pay us back? And I want to be putting my time, my effort, my energy, my love, my passion, everything God's given me into making an incredible legacy for my family. And so every time I get tempted to just like zone out or whatever it might be, my gosh, if you're going to zone out, meditate, go do some yoga or like work out or do something like that. None of this wasting time. If it's not going to make you better, then stop doing it. That's just the simple truth, So I would recommend that, getting rid of those time wasters and getting rid of that feeling of being afraid to do the hard work, because really at the end of the day, it's just about getting started. And these lists can sometimes overwhelm me when I start out with a brand new, this one says January, like it can overwhelm me at times. Month of January, gosh, it's fresh. I've got all these new papers I've got to fill out. I'm more afraid of what's going to happen when I don't fill this out than the hard work it's going to take to do it. And so that would be my other tip, is just don't be afraid of the hard work. Stare it right in the face and be okay with it, and know that that's what's going to get you where you want to go. Because we could have a whole like Brady Bunch segment right now where we're all have like our little faces in the squares and everybody goes around and like tells what their goals and their why and their dreams are. And I bet we'd even cry through it a little bit. But all the kumbaya crap is not going to make you any money if you're not putting action to your why. And so your why, we say a lot of times, like if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. I say if your why doesn't like spur you to action, then it's not big enough. My why gets me out of bed in the morning. It doesn't just make me cry. Like that's not, I can watch This Is Us and make myself cry, right? Like I don't need to have anything else make me cry in my life. What I need is a reason to get out of bed and work my tail off. And that's what I'm looking for in my why. And finding that, I didn't have that last year for part of the year. And I had to redevelop that. And so if your why is not getting you out of bed in the morning and setting your butt on fire to get up and do the work, then you got to find a new why. I felt this way for just with fitness for a long time. I'm not somebody that enjoys working out. I'm someone that very much just enjoys eating a lot of avocados and cheese. Like that's my jam all day. And so I've even had to find things to like push me out of my comfort zone and give me a really strong reason why I've got to get myself in shape. So I'm trying to push myself even in all areas of my life so that and then not be afraid of the hard work that it's going to take and not make an excuse anymore for those things. So, I'm sorry, that probably wasn't what you were looking for. I really just kind of started preaching. I'm sorry.
I love it. Preach to all of us, because I know that we're loving it. Last question, and I'm trying not to dance around a little bit. First of all, do you know anything amazing about conference? But to those that still have an opportunity to go, what should they do to get themselves to conference? But I know we've got a few on here that actually cannot go for good reasons. So
no, you've heard it. You don't need me to say it too. You need to go. If you can be there, you need to go. There's something about being close to the fire. It's kind of like, when you were growing up, it didn't matter if you've been a Christian and been going to church for 5 years. Like it was important to go to church camp, right? Like there's just things that happen, whenever you're fully focused on your business for an entire weekend and you're fully focused on your action steps and on the community and all of that can really kind of carry you through the year in ways that are really hard to understand. And so if you're on the fence and you just feel like, I don't know, gosh, room with people. We've got some of our girls are staying like 7 to a room. One of them's like driving down. She's got an air mattress she's putting in her car. They're just going to make it work with 7 people in a tiny, like $100 a night room. A hotel, like they're just going to make it work because they know the value of that. And so whatever you've got to do, I would highly recommend getting there. But I'm going to be honest, conference itself is not the magic. It's finding and reconnecting with that why that spurs you on to action that becomes magical. I think what happens is a lot of people get away from life and the everyday. They get into a setting where they're 100% focused on their business. And in that, they begin to find their why. They begin to really dig down and go, I could do this. And they kind of get that revelation, or maybe they hear from God, or maybe they hear from another team member or someone on stage, and they go, what has been holding me back? I'm ready to not let that hold me back anymore. And I think that's really kind of the key, and where the magic of conference happens. It's not in the hype, and it's not in all of the black and lime green and bling. It's not in all of that, you guys. It's in that finding why you're really a part of this business and then letting it spur you on to action. So if you can get there, I would highly recommend. As far as anything I know, I don't know anything more than anybody else knows. I know at Surf and Turf, Mark talked a lot about the Latino launch, which was exciting. So, that's already come out. He's already said we're opening Mexico. I don't think we'll open Mexico at conference. Like conference would shut down if he was like, and now we're opening Mexico. Nobody would listen to anything else. And so, I don't think it'll be at conference. But of course, the Latino launch is huge. I know he mentioned that he's going to be restructuring the loyal customer program. So we talked a lot about that, talked a lot about the customer retention and the app and all of those fun things. And so, but as far as anything else, I mean, I keep hearing the same thing y'all do, like, it's going to be totally different. I'm excited about the new format. I love that there's going to be more time to be with my team. I love that all the recognition is in one spot. And so, you know, if you think about years past, a lot of the time has been spent on people coming on and off stage at different points for different awards. Even the top 100 takes like 40 minutes to get through. So I love that it's all going to be in one spot so that those times are going to be fully focused on just training and giving people as much info as possible and inspiration. So I'm pumped about the new format and I cannot wait for conference. But no, I don't have any extra insight, I don't think, any more than anybody else does. So
we had to ask. Okay, well, we have taken a little bit extra of your time. Ashley, you're amazing.
Oh gosh, you're sweet. Thank you.
So everyone, show her some love. Thank her for all of her time and everything that I gained from. I know that I got chills again, and I'm just grateful for her sharing her insight, her day-to-day activities. Like, that's just gold to me. So Ashley, thank you. Everyone else, thanks for hopping on, and have a great night.